Want to make a statement with your next outfit? Let's create a stunning one-shoulder bodycon dress with a bold Batwing sleeve. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. To my amazing subscribers, thank you for rocking with me every week. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You're in the right place. In today's tutorial, I'll walk you through every step from drafting the perfect pattern to sewing this showstopper. Ready to make yours? Let's dive into the tutorial. So I went ahead to draft the basic body, which I did on fold. I mirrored the pattern from, you take your measurement from shoulder to the desired length. So I did a fold. I placed the full pattern. Then I folded it like so, just a white pattern, the normal pattern. Then you fold, place on fold. This is how to mirror. You place on fold like this, then you draft your body on one side, copy to the other side. That is what I did. Then I measured my chest line. I did the chest line, the bust line, sorry. I did the under bust line, the waist line, the hip line, the hip line. I did the knee length above knee, so the knee length, and I also measured the dress length. This is up to you how long you want your dress. So after this, we did our normal neck 3 by 3, which you can do 3.5, but we don't really need this. So after you've gotten the neckline, what you do now, you do your bust divide by 4, which I made the measurement of bust divide by 4, under bust divide by 4, waist divide by 4. I did also the hip divide by 4, the knee length divide by 4. So what I got, no, sorry, the hip divide by 4. What I got on the hip, I removed half of an inch to place on the knee line. Then the dress length, I did the same inches I have on the knee length. That's what I placed on the dress length. So after this, you have to open up your pattern. You open up your pattern like so. Then from your, let's create a line to connect the other point. So from your shoulder line here, what I did was from the shoulder, you have your left side and the right. So after this, we want to design the dress. So what we did now, on what I did was on the shoulder, I did the shoulder, I measured the shoulder line, which I have, let's measure, I have 4 inches. So this 4 inches, I noticed I won't use the 4 inches because if you look at the picture, the shoulder is not too wide. So what I did 2 inches. I did 2 inches, then I connect to the 2 inches like so, then I connect to the center front of the dress with a curve. Just see the way I'm placing the roller, the curve rule, sorry. You place the curve rule like this, like so, then you make a curve connecting to the center front of the dress. This place, just stop at this point first. Then what I did, I now flipped because I don't want the slant to be too down. I had to flip the roll just this way to get the other part of the curve. So what you do, you just blend the two lines together. Don't make it too curvy. See the way I'm blending it? Just place your ruler like so, then blend. Because I want the other side that is not having a shoulder to go a little bit up of my bust area. Like to cover a little up of my bust area. But just watch the way I'm doing it. Just make a rule like so, outline it. Look at the way I'm outlining it. This is how you go about it. Just go like this down to the armhole area. So after you've done this, we will have to remember we have the shoulder now as 2 inches, and we have to create a dart on this slant area so it will fit on our chest. So what I did was I did half of an inch dart. So I did 1/4 of an inch on both sides. You can do 1 inch, is up to you, but I did have an inch. So I did have an inch. I had to fold the darts. So you fold the dart like so, just fold like this, then you tape. Meanwhile, we have our new, we just make a rule connecting the lines, the new line, like so. So after which you tape, you have to tape that down. Okay, so when you finish taping it, just clean the, make sure the lines are okay. So when you're done with this, we're done with the upper part. What we do now is, this dress has little drawstring, like a round design on the waist side, which we will have to create a round design, then add a drawstring to give a round roach on that area. So what I did was, I connected from the waistline down, just like so, under bust, sorry, down to the waistline. I did 4 inches, like so. Just connect from here like this, then down back to the below the waist. What I did was, I did 4 inches from the waistline down. I measured 4 inches. The upper part is about 2.5. Then you just create a line like this. This is where you have your the round cycle, which we are creating a drawstring that will cause give us a round reaching on that part. So after this, we don't need this other line again. We go down to the down part, that's the slit area. So in this part, you determine how long you want your slit. Is up to you. So what I did was, from my own knee length, from this knee length, I just created this curve. Look the way I'm creating it, just like so, back to the length, just the way I'm creating it like this. It's up to you how you want it, but the way you can do it this way, you can make it straight. You can just make it a straight line. For me, I'm doing it this, I prefer this curve like this. You can also go up from your knee. You can go up, depends on how you want your slit. You can still go up, just up to you. But this one I'm doing from this nail here, from my above, a little bit above my knee, down to the length, like so. So after you've done this, we've gotten the pattern, which we'll be using this to cut both the front and the back. So you need to add, what you need to do now is to add allowance, half an inch allowance, 1 inch. You require allowance, you should know. So you do your half an inch or 1 inch on this part. So I'm done cutting adding the allowance to the pattern, and now we have it on the shoulder. You see all the patterns: 1 inch, half an inch, or 1 inch on that side, half an inch on the other shoulder. Then the down part is half an inch. You can make it 1 inch for folding. So after this, we'll have to place it on our fabric to cut out. But before we do that, let's draft the sleeve. So what we did was to measure our armhole like this. You measure your armhole. What you have, you put it down. Like mine, this is 15.5 and 10.5. So after we've gotten that, we have to fold this, keep aside, then place a fresh pattern paper. We have to bring a new pattern paper to draft this. We'll be needing a full pattern paper to draft the sleeve. So what we did was to create the edge line. I did half of an inch for the edge as the starting point. So I marked half of an inch like so. Mark half of an inch, then half of an inch also on just mark half of an inch all through the pattern, because we're using all the pattern for the sleeve. This line here is our sleeve length. We have our sleeve length, which is on fold. You mark on fold, just write on fold there, right? So remember, I did the measurement for the armhole side of the pattern, that's the body. So I wrote it down, which is 10.5. So what we do is to measure your 10.5 from this starting line here. You measure 10.5, just like so. 10.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, making it 11.5. So after this, you look for your cap height, which is your bust divided by 12 plus 0.5. Mine is 3 3/4, but I did 3.5. So I did 3.5. I marked 3.5. I made a box on this part here. So you just make a box just the way I'm doing it, like this, connecting to the sleeve length also. That's the round armhole measurement we took. That is 11.5. So after which you do your sleeve measurement. That's your sleeve, your shoulder to your ricks. You do your sleeve measurement, which mine I'm using 24 on this part. So I wrote down to 24. Then I'll connect it straight through from that box down to the length here, but I will not be needing the line. It's just a guideline. So after doing this, what you do next is to measure your bicep, like how wide you want your sleeve. What you do is to measure from your shoulder of your bodies down to where you want the sleeve to be, like where you want, how long you want it. This is not your wrist area, it's just where you want the sleeve to reach. You can do it to the floor, you can do it to your knee, it's up to you. So I've measured mine. I did 36. So what I did was I measure from this point 24, that's my shoulder to my wrist 24. So the other part, which is that's the sleeve, this one is the sleeve length. Then this part will be the bicep. I'll call it the bicep. That's the wideness of the sleeve. So what I did was I measured the wideness, which mine I used 36 for this. 36 as the length, like the wideness of the sleeve. I did them biceps or the round sleeve as 36. So I measured 36 from here to this point, 36. So what I did next was, after you do that, you come back to your box. You divide your box into two, just the way I'm placing the rule. Divide into two, that's the cap height box, into two. Then look for the midpoint. The way to look for your midpoint, just let's outline the box so you see. So I mark the box, I just outlined it so you see it, like so. You mark, then create the inner line. So to look for the midpoint, you just place your tape rule like this. Then what you have, fold your rule. You fold your tape rule into two, just like this, to look for the midpoint. So you mark the midpoint the way I'm doing it, just mark like so. So you got the midpoint already. So what next to do is for you to place the rule, your curve rule. Just watch the way I'm doing this. You place your curve rule like so, just the way I'm placing it. Place it on to get to the midpoint. Then you make your rule like this. Then when you get to the other down part, that's the armhole part, flip like so. You just connect back to this, just like this. Then when you get to the armhole part, you flip the row. Just watch the way I'm flipping it, just like this, facing up like so. Then you connect back to the same midpoint like so. You connect to the midpoint, just the way I'm doing it. Let me do it again. So let me do it again for you to see. Place like this to create the upper part of the cap, the kite. Then you flip the row just like so to create the lower part. This is what I do. So let's outline it so you see. So I mark the row like this just for us to see the line clearly. Okay, so after doing this, what we did back, you just measure the the curve. That's like an S curve. You measure it like this to make sure you have the exact measurement you have on your bodies. Make sure you mark the exact measurement here too, so it will fit in to your body armhole. So after doing this, you move your pattern, like you take the pattern up. Let's go to the round sleeve area. So we have 36 as our round sleeve, like the long sleeve, like through. So 36 is our the length which I want to make on this. So after you measure your 36 like so, you divide by 2. So 36 divided by 2 will give us 18. Then you place your 18 inches on this side, that's the other side, just the way I'm doing it. Just measure your 18 inches on this other part. Just watch the way I'm doing it on the pattern paper. So you measure your 36 just like the way I'm doing it, like so. From here, mark the midpoint, which is 18 inches, 18 inches, like so. Then this 18 inches you have, you place it on this other part. Then you mark your 18 inches just like this. So when you mark the 18 inches, what you do, you have 18 inches here. Then here is a 36 divided by 2 will give us 18 inches also. So after doing this, we've gotten the long sleeve. That's the one that is dropping to the knee length, depends on how long you want it. So what you do now is to connect the armhole side back to that sleeve to make it wide. Like, just connect back to that sleeve. So what you do now is just to make this rule, just the way I'm doing it, like this. You just connect like so, connect like so. The way I'm marking it, like this, connect. You can use a straight rule or just make a sketch. Use a free hand to make a sketch just like this. Then down straight to the other part of this side will be on the armhole side. Then you make a straight rule like so. Let's outline it. I'm outlining it for you to see like this. Then what you do next, we have this is, I think we're done with the sleeve. This is the sleeve. Let's slide the sleeve, and we have this other part as the fold part. But meanwhile, you notch this part. This is where you're stopping. This is where you're connecting to the dress. If you're connecting it to the dress, this is where you're stopping. Then other side, you sew the other side, you close this other side, but here will be on the armhole of the dress. Then you add your half an inch allowance on this part to close when you're closing, then half an inch all through to the upper part, sewing allowance. So we've done the sleeve. You just mark here on fold like so. Then we cut on fabric. Just that is the sleeve part. So let's cut this on our fabric. So what you do next is to keep this aside, and let me show you this. This is our pattern, like the bodice, the sleeve like this. You place it, you see the cap, like the armhole side on the sleeve, you place it like so. This is when you're doing it on the bodice. You place it like so to give you this long sleeve. So after this, let's place it on fabric and cutter. So I'll be using 3 yards of fabric, depends on your size. So I'm using 3 yards on this for both the sleeve and the bodice. 3 yards should be enough. 3 yards of crepe. So what I did was I spread the fabric. You have to spread the fabric. Then you are cutting this fabric. You're placing your pattern not on fold. Then you're cutting the right side. You place the right side to cut the pattern, not the wrong side. Let me show you. You just lay your fabric like this, the right side facing you. You're not placing on fold. You're not folding into cutter, because you have we mirrored the pattern, so you don't need to fold again. You have it as one. So you place it on the front side of the pattern like this, and the fabric like so, to cut out for the front. Remember, we are using the same pattern to cut for the front and the back. So when you place it like this to cut out the front, if you want to cut the back of the pattern, you just remember, we are having it as two, front and back. So what you do is to take this pattern like so. After cutting the front, you've cut it, you place it like this on the front to cut. What you do is to turn this pattern. I don't know if you understand. Just flip the pattern like so again. You turn it like this. The back side, you use it to cut on the front again. The first one is to place on the front line. You've seen the lines. This line will outline, the outlined lines. You see it to cut out the front, the first part. Then the second one, you turn the pattern that's the back side of the pattern, on the front side of the fabric also to cut. If possible, you can just cut the first one, then use the fabric you've cut on the first one to cut the second one. So I went ahead to do that. I placed the pattern on the fabric and I cut out. So on this part we're having it like this. We have the round parts which you will be using the drawstring to reach like around, and the round shoulder parts which we will be joining, then the side also, the slit part, that's the side, we'll have to join it also. I went ahead also to cut along the side. We'll have it like this. You see it's just the side, the down part, which you're having exactly the way we have it on our pattern. And what I did was I went ahead to cut a long strip, which is I did 1/4, yes, of a strip. So I made it very long to bias the neck part, that's the neckline, to knitting it on the two sides. Then I'll brought out the sleeve also. I cut the sleeve, which we're having it like this. I placed on fold on the fabric. That's, you can do the front side or the back side, any side of the fabric will do. Then you add allowance on the down part, folding allowance, then place on folds just the way I'm placing the pattern like this on the fabric. Then you cut out the sleeve just like this, add your allowances and all that you cut out. So after cutting the sleeve like this, you have the sleeve like so, just the way it is. Then when you finish joining the sleeve, you fold the down part like this, like you'll be having it long, very long on the under armhole down, right the from the shoulder to the reach side will be not too long short. So after that, I brought back my the dress. Then you'll be placing your bias like this, sew round, then flip to knitting it. Then after that, I'll be I'll use bias to join the round side, or you can fold like so. You fold, because remember we did 1 inch, you can fold the 1 inch in by half and another half. Make sure you have space which your drawstring will pass through. If you cannot fold like that, you can remove half an inch, then put in the use bias to close like so. So I went ahead to do that. I used bias to close that place, but I'm having hole which I'll be putting my drawstring. So I did that on the other side also. Then I knitting the neck parts, the two sides I did on the other side, just like so, the way you're saying it. Then what I did was I placed like so. I'll place it like this, the front the front facing me. Then I'll place front facing front, like the fabric, the front side is facing the front side. Then what you do next is to what I did next is I made a long strip of quarter 1 inch, and I folded it into two for the drawstring. So I'll join the side, fold the down part just like this, because we did 1 inch. Then the side of the waist also, I'll join it to the back down side. But what I did, I'll need to, when I join, after joining, I'll need to open the outer parts where the drawstring will come out from the hip side. Then the upper side, I'll stitch from the underarm down to where, I'm not closing the line, because I'll have my drawstring passing through that same hole to come out from the hip or waist side. So I closed that point to this point here, which I'll be having my opening where my drawstring like so will pass back to come out to the from the facing the hip side. So I went ahead, I will flip like this. I'll have an opening on this hip side. Remember I said that, which the rope will be coming out from. So I'll go and do that. I'll stitch, close, and then come back for us to see. After which I'm done doing that, I'll bring back the sleeve. The sleeve also, I'll fold the sleeve. Sorry, I'll have to fold the sleeve like this. You fold half an inch, making it one. You sew all round. Then the other side also, you fold half an inch, making it 1 inch. You left an allowance, sorry, you close on this side. Then the armhole side, remember we left a notch on that armhole side. So that notch part, when you're closing the other arm and the side, don't close to that armhole because you're joining the armhole to the body, but close this other part. Then let me do that and bring back. So I'm done with this. We have the dress like so, which I went ahead to join the shoulder, the other side of the armhole. Then we have the drawstring like so, which we have the round one. So by the time we reach, I went ahead to put in the drawstring inside. By the time we reach like this, we draw them in like so, like this. You'll be having a little hole. That's a little round hole on that, because if you check the dress very well, you see that it has this round hole on the side. So you'll be having, after reaching it like this, after tying the ropes, you'll be having this round tiny hole on the side of the dress. So after which I placed it like so. Then you see the shape of the dress. We're having it coming out already. You see the shoulder, the sides. So what I will do now, you see the whole part. So we fold it down already. You fold it down, sorry. And what we do now is to join the shoulder, that's the sleeve, to the bodice. I don't know. You have to remember we left opening on the, after folding, remember we folded the long side of the sleeve. So what we do now, there's an opening we left, which is the armhole side. I did not close that. I closed other parts, but the armhole side I did not close. I left it open because I'll be joining it with the bodice. So I left it open. So what we do now, we have to, when you join, I join the armhole side. This is this. But the round one that will be connecting to the other bodies, I did not join that part. I left it open because I'll be joining it with the bodies. So I had to, when you finish, you'll be having it like so. You see the long effect, like coming down, and the other side is short. The side that is coming to our reach side is short, while the down part is very long. So what I did was to bring back my body, that's the dress. Then I placed the sleeve together with it, then cut out. And sorry, I had to sew. Don't mind me. So I placed it like so, and I made it. So after this, we've gotten the sleeve together with the dress, and this is how it look in the outcome. See the sleeve like so, and the rich side. The dress is very beautiful. Let's place on the mannequin to see the results. If you've not yet followed us, please follow our channel, support your sister, like, share, drop a question in the comment section. Let's place on mannequin for us to see. You see how beautiful it is. How beautiful. See the sleeve. It's looking so fine. We have a keyhole also on the side. We've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you on my